is Matthew Parks from StraightUpGeekster.com, and what we're talking about today is Windows 8, the exciting new operating system that's coming from the boys from Redmond. So without much further ado, I'll go ahead and bring up my version. I have it installed inside of a virtual machine. See here, I have Oracle VirtualBox installed. And here, this is my virtual machine. Before I open the virtual machine, let's take a look at some of the settings. So in my general settings, I'm basically, as a base memory, using a gig of memory. I do have my my virtual paging set and such as far as acceleration. I don't have anything too exotic on my video. Here, this was kind of important in network, and I do want to show you this, is that I found that the bridged adapter works best of all of the choices listed here. And in the bridge adapter, what that basically means is that it will leverage your internal adapter inside of the machine and then give it a different adapter, pretend to be a different adapter inside of the virtual machine. I also found that once inside, if you hit the advanced button here, like I just did, that the adapter type that works out best is the Intel Pro 1000 MT desktop, and I set it for allow for VMs. Everything else I took was the default. I didn't install any other adapters, but I found that that setting worked best for getting the machine started and being able to surf the internet from inside of the virtual machine. So now that I have my machine configured, I'm gonna go to start, and we watch it boot here. Now, at a much later date, I may go through the process of setting up an actual virtual machine from scratch. But what I wanted to do is just give you a look at the actual virtual machine in action, how it works, and the fact that I actually do have Windows 8 installed, as you can see, on a Windows 7 machine. Now, we should be coming up to the desktop. Get a little green window. Don't know if you can change the color on this background as of yet. So we got a welcome screen. I haven't placed any pictures in here yet. This is still pretty fresh, fresh install. I've been working out the bugs, some of which I just explained to you earlier. So now that it's actually building my desktop, it'll bring up what's called the Metro interface, which is this. And with the Metro interface, everything on the first page that you encounter with Windows is actually in a tiled configuration, very similar to, and some people would say exactly like, the Windows Phone environment, Windows Phone 7. This is very touch oriented, but it is not touch exclusive. The word or the verbiage that Microsoft prefers to use is touch first technology. So now I'm using a mouse, and with this mouse and the scroll wheel that the mouse provides, I'm able to actually move through the path of tiles, as they're called in the Metro interface, by simply moving the mouse wheel up and down, or rolling it back and forth to be more correct. So if this isn't your cup of tea, and a lot of you won't find this to be pleasurable, first I'll show you how to get to your start menu. If you come all the way down to your corner here, well, we'll come back to that. Click on the desktop, and it's going to take a second for it to populate. But here on the actual desktop, you'll see that it looks very Windows 7 like. There's nothing really mysterious here, nothing that's going to take you completely out of bounds about the Windows desktop. Here it is. You can actually see that for this particular iteration, even the background picture appears to be the same. Recycle bin, the icons down here, the arrow glass, the super bar, taskbar interface, all of that is the same underneath the hood as it appears. I want to go here to look at folders, and this is something that I find that's very interesting. This is the Windows Explorer, and Windows Explorer now gains the benefit, or the nuisance for some of you, of the ribbon interface. So in moving around about inside of the Explorer window, looking through your drives, folders, and such, you now have this ribbon interface that gives you more or less, again, given equal time to the critics, for your manageability purposes, giving you more or less features and options to work with in here. So just moving around and giving you some ideas on what we actually have. We do retain some of the benefit or some of the niceties that we gained from going all the way back to Windows Vista. One of these things called breadcrumbs, or actually Windows 7 called breadcrumbs, which meaning that I can take my path here in my address bar, and I can actually hop back through paths by going directly and clicking on the interactive address bar. But certain things, certain functionality that before were hidden inside of menus, such as mapping a network drive, are here. Locating a network location, or adding a network location. Those types of things are here on the bar, and pretty readily accessible for most people that want to encounter that. This is Internet Explorer 10, and again, superficially, it doesn't look much different from what we're used to. Feature-wise, it's pretty close to the same. There are some enhancements. Those enhancements are going to be milled out as we start to encounter this new operating system. And here is our start menu, taking us back to our desktop. And here, by going down to the corners, you see that brings up the start menu. It also brings up a clock and a little status window. Here's another interesting feature that I'll show you. To turn the machine off, you go to your start down here in the corner. You also have your search and share devices, which takes you to the control panel. We'll go here to the actual settings. Settings brings up this little side menu here, and Microsoft has a famous little fancy nomenclature for that, which I don't recall at the present. But this particular brings up, as you can see, your unidentified network. It brings up your notifications. It also brings up the power button, and that is actually how you will turn a machine off in a Windows 8 environment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and power down the machine. And this has been our presentation here at the straightupgeeksta.blogspot.com of Windows 8.